Hello, welcome back to Will's World Reviews and More. Yes, I am back again, and this time I am reviewing a Barnsley match, the first one that I have attended. In a way, I attended it as a steward, because I worked there as a steward. So, even though you're not supposed to, I kind of watched most of the match, whilst also looking out for the crowd and making sure I do my job, of course. And got a pretty good idea of things, so I thought I'd do a review on it. Barnsley v Hull. So now we're 2 leagues apart. Hull in the Premier League and we're in League One. So it was a game I was looking forward to, and I don't think it disappointed really. I was surprised at how strong the team Hull actually fielded and actually brought. Ince, who's just signed for them, he played. Livermore, who played from on loan last year, who they've signed. Boyd played in the second half. Shane Long, who got the goal. We'll get to that in a minute. Paul McShane, who obviously played for Barnsley, he had another good game for Hull. He's a real solid defender. I think he was a player that I think a lot of Barnsley fans would have liked to have had on a permanent basis. I know it was a while ago now he came on loan, but he's still a good player. And they had a really, and Sonny Luca up front, they had a real strong team. And I was surprised, and I was also pleased at how well Barnsley did. I mean, obviously it's a friendly. Teams don't play at the same kind of pace or intensity, but it was still a very good performance from Barnsley. We'll get through the goals first because they're the least important thing in a friendly, really. It's more about performances, the spirit, whatever you want to know. And the first goal was Hull's, and it was a bad mistake from the Barnsley keeper, Adam Davis. Nightanger played a pass back to him, and for some reason it was like he was asleep. He was like he wasn't expecting it, and Long kind of nicked in, and basically it bounced off. Davis got it, but it bounced off Long and then went in the net, and it was just real bad. Apart from that, Davis had a fairly reasonable game. He wasn't tested too much, and it really was about concentration. And I don't think anyone's really expecting him to be number one after signing Turnbull this week. And he came on in the second half and just looked really solid. It looks like a beast. Commands his area, talks to his defenders, and like I said, it was harsh on Davis because he was all right, but it's the difference between being number one and being number two. And Turnbull is definitely number one. Pardon me. Ironically, Barnsley's goal also came from a goalkeeping error, and it's one you wouldn't expect from Steve Harper. Again, someone who, obviously played a lot of games and made a mistake. It was just got caught out, and really, I know it was an open net, and I know it sounds silly to say that it was took well, but it really was by Hurricane, who for me has been the best signing. He's a class player, you can tell. And for me, he should be captain. I know if Craney stays and he's the captain, he should probably remain captain on principle. But I think for me, Hurricane, if we keep hold of him for a long while, will be a future captain because he's a real good player. And he just kind of slotted the ball in. It was an open net, but he took it calm, didn't rush. Didn't shoot it really hard, didn't hit it really hard, didn't kind of we've seen the missed Odejaye. We've seen open nets missed before. And this was just a real calm finish. He knew what he was doing, didn't rush, didn't panic, just knew what he was doing, and it was a great goal. And he deserved his goal because he was, one of they all played well on the pitch, to be honest, but he was probably one of the standouts. They were the goals. 1-1 finished. Apart from that, there wasn't really many chances on both sides, really. Jennings had a couple of shots in each half. But as for Hull, they didn't really threaten. To be honest, it was a pretty tame. Barnsley fielded a lot of players. I was impressed with quite a few of them. Other ones, not so much. We'll go through that. So as I've already mentioned, Hurricane, whatever. He looks like he's going to play in the midfield. He is really like a box-to-box player. I know his idol's Roy Keane, and he reminded me of Keane a little bit because he's box-to-box. He doesn't mind a tackle, but he's also obviously shows that he can score goals too. And it looks like he is quite comfortable either playing as in the middle of the park or maybe just even behind the strikers. So that's good to know. And I think he's probably my new favourite player. I like him. In the first half, we had Digby in midfield, and he looks like a real good player. Still lacking that little bit of experience. Obviously, still young, needs that game time. He's lacking a little bit of. I think he needs that head. We're lucky with John Stones. He seems to have that mentality already ingrained. But with Digby, I think that needs to come, and he will. But he looks like he's going to be a real good player for us, and I'm pleased about that. We had a trialist on trial, Wes Brown's brother. He used to play for Man United as well. And he was amazing. He was just really solid. I don't know whether he was centre half normally, but he played at right back, and he was just real solid. Confident, looked like a proper player. And I hope we offer him a contract, and I hope he accepts it because he looks like he's what we've been missing. Really tall. He probably can play centre half as well, which is good for cover. But he seemed really assured at right back, and I was really pleased with his performance, and I really hope we can offer him a contract. I mentioned Jennings. He had a shot in the first half, a good run, and it was a good save by Harper. But generally, I was a little bit disappointed with him because although he showed those flashes of brilliance, they were few and far between, and he didn't really seem to offer too much apart from that. And I appreciate that we need that kind of flair player, but I'm just worried that he'll slip into the kind of mould of the Mellis or the Nardiello, where they do it not very often, and it might get to the point where it's just frustrating, and you may need to kind of develop tracking back in his game as well, just to do something else. And then that's the same kind of problem that Nana, who played in the first half, and had. It was just like, and also Lazarus in the second half need to kind of track back as well as going forward. Smith, who played left back, left back, I think, he had a good game, youngster. He wasn't really tested though, so we'll have to see how that goes. Whether he's going to be a long-term replacement or long-term position for left back, I'm not sure. But he did have a good game. But like I say, if he's going to be tested on a weekly basis, we'll have to see how that pans out. Ruben Noble Lazarus and Danny Rose for me. I'm starting to get a bit frustrated with them because I know how good they are or how good they could be, but they just don't seem to be producing it in a Barnsley shirt, and it's just frustrating because I want them to do well, and especially Danny Rose being a local lad. I want them to do well, and Ruben's been there a long time. I want them to do well for Barnsley, but it's just not happening, and I'm just wondering how much longer the club can afford to keep them going. It's a sad fact, that really. As for the other players that stood out, Bailey came on in the second half, looked really assured, class player. Again, similar to Hurry Hayne, but he's a bit more defensive, doesn't get forward as much, but he does want to get forward, which is good, and he's not afraid of a shot as well. That's good to know, but he also knows his defensive capabilities, and he really showed up that midfield. Winall came on, and he looks like a proper striker, one we've not had for a while. He looks like he's a goal poacher, and he just looks like he's capable of taking a shot. He's not scared. Looks like a real good signing. The only thing that worries me at the moment is we haven't really got a tall striker, and I know we're not really probably going to be playing too much long ball football, but it might be an option just to maybe have a bit of height in there. If necessary, we could always shove a defender up though, so I suppose that's not too bad. And Mikhail came on, and he looks like a real class player as well. We got him from Man City, didn't we? So yeah, that's about it really. But it was a good performance. I was pleased with it. It was quite exciting. It was nice to see the new faces, and it looks like it's going to be a real youthful team, fresh-faced, no fear, and that's going to be a good thing. And we stopped the run of defeats in pre-season, so there's plenty of positives there, absolutely, and only good things to say really. Like I said, a few things that could be improved upon, but it's a friendly and it's a start season, and if mistakes are going to be made, I want them to be made now rather than in the actual season. So next match we got against the Manchester United 11. That's on Tuesday. I'll be working as a steward again, so I will probably do a review and tell you my thoughts on that as well. But until then, thank you for watching. Keep liking, keep subscribing, and keep commenting. And I will see you all very soon. So thank you. Peace.